What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys had a fantastic day today, and today I have a very exciting video for you guys. Today we're going to be taking a look at my full 1-400 scale international airline carrier fleet for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video, as we have many really cool carriers here that I'm very excited to dive into. There's so many really cool international airlines that I now have. I'm still trying to grow every single day, and there'll be more additions to this in the very near future, which is very exciting. But this is still a really cool fleet, I believe, and I'm really excited to see where I can develop it going into the future. So I hope you guys are excited for today's video, and without any further delay, let's dive into these, everybody. So like I said, we have many really cool ones here. I'm very excited to take a look at these. There are many cool ones. So pretty much what I'm defining as an international carrier is any airline that is not from the United States, or pretty much North America, I should say, that I have in my collection. So that would include Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, all of those countries. So really cool diversity here. I hope you guys are excited for it, and without any further delay, let's get started. For fun, since they're right here, I'll throw in my house livery. So here's a Boeing 777. This is a Phoenix model. It's a 200 variant. It's a very cool model. My mom surprised me with it for Christmas a couple years ago. Really glad to have it. It's been a nice substitute for some airlines that I haven't had, and I'm glad to have it. So really cool plane there in general. The next plane I have is a recent addition. This was from a real life trade. This is a Boeing 787-8 house livery with the really cool Boeing bluish house livery. I really like this one as well. I think it looks really cool. That's why I chose to get it there, and it was also a pretty reasonable deal. This is a Hogan's model, if I remember correctly, and certainly a very unique one, but I hopefully will be able to find cool ways to utilize it here in the near future, so that looks fantastic. This one's here in this place just because it wouldn't fit in with the others, but this is supposed to go with the Canada video. This was the Air Canada 787-9, but you can throw it here if you want to. Kind of counts, kind of doesn't, but yeah, there we go. Alrighty, my British Airways fleet is certainly my biggest when it comes to international carriers. I have 5 British Airways planes. British Airways is probably one of my favorite international carriers, but I'm still trying to decide because there's several. See, I've never flown on any, or that sort of thing, but there's a couple that fly DFW regular that have really grown on me, like Lufthansa, now Finnair is also a cool one, Turkish, and many others. So let's dive into this. We have a British Airways Concorde right here. This, I believe, is the cool exclusive. I think it says it under here. Sorry about that. Yeah, the Shotcut exclusive here with the Charlie tail number. It's a cool aircraft to have. I got a really good deal on it a couple years ago, and I always wanted a Concorde. So one of my primary driving points in collecting is to have as much variety to my collection as possible. And one of the most challenging yet fun parts of collecting is trying to find new aircraft types, and that was my purpose of getting the Concorde, especially considering it was like $23 or something very good. So super glad to have it, and maybe one day I'll be able to use it in a model airport. We'll see. This one came in a couple years ago, the British Airways 787-10. This aircraft is even more special as I finally got to see it for the first time in Denver. Great airport, by the way. Please visit if you can. Love Denver so much, and this is a really pretty aircraft, so I'm certainly very glad to have this one. It looks amazing from the detail to all the infrastructure of that JC Wings mold that Gemini got to use on this one. It's really nice, and I really like it. So really cool. Helps out for Dallas and all the other projects that I'm working on. This is the second release of British Airways Airbus A350-1000, not the most recent one, but the December 2020 release. This is another great aircraft. Glad we got the Captain Dockyard, or however you say it properly, there on the tail. I think it looks really nice. So I'm glad to have this aircraft as well. It's a great component, and it looks really nice. Hope to get to see one very soon. One of my absolute favorites here that I got a couple years ago is the British Airways Boeing 747-400. This is an icon for many reasons, as you guys probably know. It looks super nice, and I absolutely love the detail on it. It turned out really, really nice. GeminiJets did a phenomenal job on this one. Got this back in April 2021. It's been a critical component ever since. So excited to continue to use it, and it's a really cool aircraft. This one might be getting replaced, but I certainly have one no matter what. This is the British Airways Airbus A380-800 Super 8 or Super Jumbo by GeminiJets. This was the I'm trying to remember. This was like the there was a 2021 release, I think, or something like that. It was somewhere around there, maybe like February 2021 or something. This was that release. Unfortunately, the wing is kind of having some issues, so it keeps tilting up, which sucks because I want it to just sit down. And unfortunately, the antenna's also got a little dinged up. So I'm considering getting another one. I'm not sure yet. Let me know what you guys think. But I have one no matter what, and I've seen them many times now, which has been super cool. Chicago, Miami, Dallas. So I'm excited to see more of them, but certainly a special plane to me and one of my absolute favorite heavies. Very nice. My only Virgin Atlantic model is actually a retro one. This is the Virgin Atlantic Airbus A340-600 with the all gray scheme. I don't know what the proper name for it is. This is a very cool aircraft. I remember seeing this in so many old YouTube videos. That's why I chose to get this at Airliners International 2022 in Chicago. Beautiful airplane. I highly recommend it if you can find it. It's a really unique aircraft. This is my only A340-600 of my collection, which I hope to change soon. I would absolutely love to get a Lufthansa one at some point and continue to build up my Lufthansa fleet after getting to see several of them as of late. But this is still a really cool aircraft. I'm certainly glad to have it, to say the least. The next aircraft is my only KLM Royal Dutch Airlines aircraft. This is the Boeing 777-300ER by NG Models. This is, I think now this is my very first one, but I think I now have two. This is a beautiful aircraft. Love the GE90s on this one, along with the Wi-Fi boxes and the really precise detail that NG Models provides on their models. This one turned out really good. I'm certainly glad to have it. So really cool one. I did replace the GeminiJets one that you guys probably saw in a previous collection video with this one, and I think it turned out really nice. Next up is the TUI Boeing 787-9. This has been a very helpful aircraft for Great Plains and hopefully soon to come San Del Cabo. This one has some really good detail on it, and it's certainly going to be a great addition for the Cabo Model Airport once we get that going, but also for the collection. Adds some nice Europe diversity there. And I also think I got to see a TUI 787, probably was a Dash 8, I'd have to go check, at Orlando Sanford out of all places, excuse me. But I hope to see one of these soon, and that'll make it even more special. It's been really cool to see how I've been able to catch more of these international carriers as of late, and some of them I have the model for, which is really cool, so that's been awesome. One that I have had the model for a while that I actually did get to see recently is the, or a few years ago, excuse me, but maybe another one coming up soon, is the Lufthansa Airbus A330-300 in the current livery. This is a really cool aircraft. Got to see this in Atlanta 2019, and there's probably a good chance I saw it at Dallas once or twice at the minimum. Honestly, I've seen quite a few planes as of late, so I'm having a hard time remembering all the details. Hopefully I'll be able to sit back, reflect, and then get it all memorized again, because I love knowing what I've seen. But this has certainly been a great addition. Now, this is the NG Models version that I got, oh boy, probably in the summer of 2021 at some point. I think that's when this came out. I know I had the GeminiJets one for a couple of years, but this NG one's been fantastic, and I'm excited to continue to utilize it in every way I can. Okay, yeah, Lufthansa's been very special. I should have mentioned that to begin with. So Lufthansa's been a very special airline to me as of late because I've got to see many aircraft. So let's start with the 343 here, and I'll kind of explain. So this is the GeminiJets December 2020 release that came with the 35K British Airways in the current colors. Now, the 343 was a plane that I always wanted to catch for a very long time, and I finally was able to do it, but I have not expected it to turn into what it has. So I think over the last month, pretty much, I've seen 4 of these. I saw 2 in the Star Alliance livery, 1 in Dallas, and 1 in, oh boy, I'm trying to think of where it was. Now I'm forgetting. Dang it. Both in Dallas, that's what it was. I saw 2 Star Alliance liveries that were both in Dallas. Then I saw 2 Star Alliance liveries in the summer. One was at Denver, one was at Chicago, so I already saw it 4 times at that point, which is crazy. Then I recently got to see the old livery at Denver and the new livery at Atlanta. So certainly a very complex lineup of 343s after wanting to see them for such a long time. So I've caught 6 of these bad boys. I need to check the tail number and see if this one is the one I saw in Atlanta. It's possible, but probably not. It's very, very cool to get to see so many of these flying across the United States. They're beautiful airplanes. I really hope to continue to diversify this fleet. I recently got to see, like I said, A340-600 at Miami. That was awesome. Love that. The retro color 747-8 was a bomb also at Miami. And I don't think I got to see any others to this point, but I'm sure that maybe if I get lucky, I'll get to see some more of them. But they're, oh yeah, the A350 at Chicago too. Duh. I got to see it right up next to the gate, and also plane spotting in general. And then I've also seen, like I said, the 330 a couple times, and I'm sure I've seen many others as well over the years. So Lufthansa's been growing on me just because I've been seeing them so much, and they're a really cool carrier. I think their product is really good. So really cool. I won't talk on it too long to make this video 15 hours, but certainly cool, and I hope to talk about my Lufthansa experience a little bit more in the future. Also, there goes, I had the accidentally the headphone wire, put this in my lap, but that's okay. Also, these are done by, lined up by geographic locations. So if you're wondering how this is oriented, that's why. Lufthansa is very special, and I hope to get more models for them soon, particularly the Starlines 343. I think JC Wings did it, and after seeing it 4 times, I need to get that. Even though I already have the normal one, I need the Starlines. It flies in Dallas like every day anyways. All right, so next up we have the Finnair Airbus A350-900 by NG Models. I'm so glad to have this aircraft. It is super nice. Really cool to get to see my first one the other day at Dallas. I got a really cool picture with the skyline, and then got to walk up near the gate and get to see it. I also got to talk to a passenger that was coming in from Helsinki, which was really cool. They went to, I think, like the northern part of Finland, like all the way up to like the top of the Atlantic Ocean, I think it was what it would be. So that was super cool. They were connecting onto a Miami flight that I was on, so that was really cool. But yeah, that was kind of funny. They flew Finnair direct outbound from Miami and then came back to Dallas. So, and they said they liked the 350 over the 330. So good job, Finnair, and keep it up. Love, love, love that model, and I'm so glad to finally have it. They've been doing dividends at Dallas, and I'm so glad that they're flying Helsinki. That's a great service for us, and who knows, maybe one day I'll be fortunate enough to try it. I'm not sure. I've never experienced that jet lag phenomenon, but hopefully it wouldn't be too bad if I ever do get an opportunity to do something like that, but we shall see. Next up is another DFW model, the Turkish Airlines 787-9 by GeminiJets with the JC Wings mold. Very glad to have this one as well. Again, another very applicable aircraft for DFW. Still have not got to catch it because it comes in pretty late at night, comes in around 8 p.m. Local. So I'm hopeful maybe this summer, maybe it could be a good opportunity to catch it if I'm able to get it, which I'm sure at some point I'll be able to knock it out. I did get to see several of their 777 freighter aircraft, though, Atlanta and Miami. So certainly cool. I'm excited to catch a passenger aircraft for them. I bet I've caught some in the past, but I want to see more of them. So love you, Turkish. Keep it up. Another really cool airline from my collection is the Royal Jordanian Boeing 787-8. This is a really cool aircraft. Of course, got this because I've seen it in Chicago, but also just in general, it's cool to have an aircraft from Jordan. So it's been a great addition to the fleet. GeminiJets did a really good job once again with the JC Wings mold. Several of these are JC Wings molds on GeminiJets aircraft, which is very cool, and they've done a really good job with them. So that's why I choose to have them, and they've turned out really nicely. So this is the Royal Jordanian 787-8. Another prime example, this is the Emirates 777-300ER. I recently replaced my 2017 or 18 release, and this one's great. I have no complaints. It's fantastic. So glad to have this one in the fleet, and it's a really great aircraft. So excited to see how I can build upon it, but certainly a beautiful aircraft, and it looks fantastic. Here's another well. This is my Emirates Airbus A380 with the Expo 2020 sticker on it. This one's also super cool. Probably won't flip it for the completely normal with no sticker because it's probably not worth it, but this one's great. I love it. Super glad to have it, and hopefully maybe, just maybe one day, Dallas will get these back, but I would assume we're on that guy. I would like to get a 777-200 LR after seeing, I saw Echo Whiskey Echo twice at Dallas, pretty much in the exact same spot, but in 2014 and then 2022. So that was super special. And it was really cool to get to see the same tail number in the exact same spots. That was great. And hopefully, just maybe, I'll be able to get it again. But taxiing over the bridge to take off at 17 right, pretty special. My Qatar Airways fleet is pretty extensive nowadays, which is super cool. I have 4 airplanes for them. Beginning with the newest one, this is my Boeing 777-300ER by NG Models. Super glad to see this. I was very on the fence about getting this one, but I chose to because I knew this aircraft was going to be a great component, and you know, it's a staple. It really is. So I'm very glad to have this one. It looks fantastic. I love the detail on it. Color also came out really good. Let me pick this up here and show you guys. It looks really cool. In fact, I put it up here to the Aviation 400, which I think they're both really good. As you can tell, the NG one's a little bit darker and also more, I'm trying to think of the word. It has a little bit richer of a color to it, if that makes sense. It's more depth to the color. I think saturation would be the proper term, but I'm certainly glad to have this one, and it's a really cool one for my fleet. So glad to have the Qatar 777-300ER. I also have a pretty good fleet of Airbus A350s. I have this 900 by NG Models in the One World colors. Cool one that my mom surprised me with, so thank you, Mom. I appreciate it. Great model, very glad to have it, and it's been making some appearances, so I'm glad to get to utilize it. One that I've wanted for a really long time is this just normal A350-1000 by Aviation 400. This was their most recent release, and I had to wait for this one for a very long time, but I'm so glad I finally got it. Yeah, these fly to Dallas every single day. This and 777-200 as of late, but this one's also very cool. I'm very, very glad to have it, so it looks absolutely amazing. And for the last couple of years, I've also had this Phoenix One World A350-1002. Really cool model, looks really good. Certainly interesting molds here between Phoenix and Aviation 400, but I'm glad to have both of them. So 777-200 LR would be nice. I've seen the FIFA sticker twice, so even though it would get outdated, that would be cool. But I think I want to focus on more geography rather than more duplicates, because while there are some exceptions like the Qatar 777, I need to continue to add new airlines, and luckily I have been, and you guys will see that very soon. Air India Boeing 777-300ER, this is the Prairie Diecast exclusive JC Wings mold. This is a really cool one. I am super glad to have it. Really neat model in general. It looks really nice. Good job here with the JC Wings mold. It came out super well, and I'm very glad to have this one. So my only airline from that kind of region, if that makes sense, because then it goes into Asia, but I certainly hope to get some more models in that region. I don't know which ones. Like I know, like I think it's dang it, they fly a bunch of Airbus narrow bodies. I'm forgetting it. I think it's like Indigo maybe or something like that. I would love to get one of those, but still really cool to get to see the Air India. And then over into Asia, starting with Japan, I have a Japan Airlines Boeing 787-9 by NG Models. I am so glad to have this aircraft. This was one that I was on the hunt for a very long time, and I saw several of these, have seen several of these, excuse me, at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. So for all those reasons, I've really wanted one. So thank goodness NG finally did it last year, and or actually now 2 years ago, golly. And I'm very glad to have it in the collection. It's been a great component, and I've used it many times, and I'm sure I'm going to continue flying these for many months to come. The Korean Air 787-9 is also a very nice model in my collection. Of course, this is now what they predominantly fly to Seoul, so that's been great for the Dallas Model Airport. I've also seen several of these too, so I'm glad to have the Pepsi airline in my fleet, and they've been a great addition. I also have this ANA Boeing 787-9 with the R2-D2 Star Wars livery. Really cool to have a model from there as well. This is a really nice one. Love the detail on it. Really cool with the nose, and then obviously into the R2-D2 detail. Very unique model, and I think it fits my build for the collection very well in general. Lastly, I have two Qantas models to round out my fleet here in Australia. I have a Boeing 787-9. That's an NG model, really nice model, and it's been great to fill in for the Wright aircraft that used to fly Dallas all the time, the Airbus A380. That's a Phoenix model. Really cool mold there. I have a nice diversity there, 380s with some of my favorite airlines. Qantas is another one of my favorites. I love the Kangaroo on the tail, but yeah, both these have been critical components at Dallas over the years. I would still like to get like a 747 at some point, maybe. You know, Gemini did one a couple years ago. That was cool. Or maybe, you know, just some additional planes. A 330 or something, I don't know. Just throwing out some stuff, but yeah, certainly a great fleet there, and I'm excited to see where I can build on it in the future. So yeah, this international fleet's certainly been coming along nicely. If I had one small complaint, I think the duplicates here for BA and Qatar are a little excessive, but I think they kind of fit the reasoning. Including a South African Airways Airbus A350-900 and a China Southern Airbus A380 over there. I'm very excited to get those out and see what they're all about. They're really cool aircraft, it seems, and those will be great because now I'll be adding another airline from China, and also, or that might be my first airline from China, actually, yeah, I think so. And also add my first aircraft from the continent of Africa, if I'm not mistaken, even though they're gone, South Africans, so that'll be great. And I really want to get some more like Cathay Pacific, Thai, you know, there's so many, I can go on for days. Aeroflot, ITA, really want the A330-200 blue. That plane is so nice. Aer Lingus, or I mean, I have this little guy, but Aer Lingus 330 or something. Oh yeah, I guess I have these two as well. So I'll show you guys these couple. Even though they're narrow bodies, I have an Aer Lingus A321neo. Thanks, Mom, for surprising me with that. That's a cool model. Iceland Air 757-200 80th anniversary livery is a really cool one. I have a peach Airbus A320 with a special livery. Mom kind of messed up there, but at least it's colorful. And two Thai Airways Boeing 737-400s, the previous livery and the current livery. So I guess I do have Thai models, but I want like, you know, a wide body, one that I've like seen before, if that makes sense. So my bad on not recognizing all these. And since these don't really, this one kind of fits a little bit different of a region, I also have an Avianca Airbus A320 in the old colors with sharklets. Certainly great variety here. Let me know what you guys think about this collection. I'm really excited, like I said, to see how I can build it, and really hope to get some different aircraft, more aircraft I've seen, but also, you know, there's still a few carriers at Dallas that have not had adequate models that I would like to get, like Turkish and Finnair. Luckily it came out at a really good timing, along with Japan Air finally, like I've talked about. But I'm still in desperate need of an Iberia Airbus A330-200 in the current colors, and I think there's one other at least. I'm trying to think of what that would be. I'm trying to think. I'm sure I'm missing one. I'm trying to think of what it would be, but I think I'm missing something somewhere. I'm trying to think. It's not immediately coming to my head, but I would not be surprised if I'm missing an airline or two. But there's a couple. Air France, that's what it is. Air France. Lately it's been the 777, but they've also done 787 too. So Air France also is one, and then there's probably like one other that is slipping my mind. But certainly those two releases were critical and have been very helpful, and hopefully we'll get an Iberia and an Air France soon. But yeah, great fleet, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe, trust the process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing